Hey guys, Chaotic Burn here. It's been a while since I put a video out, so I thought I'd put one out. Sorry about the shakiness of the camera. I still don't have a tripod. But alright, so today's video is going to be more of a discussion. Just something I was thinking about, and that's why I've got an assortment of knives here. And these are all blades that I carry. Usually on a regular basis, almost always have this, just because it's a good beater knife. And then I've been carrying this. I really like this blade. It's got a good grip, nice utility blade, but it's a larger blade. These two are both 4-inch blades. Then we have my Opinel, which is a smaller blade. Looks like it's about a 3.5. And then I know this is a 3.5, my Kershaw. And then my Gerber looks to be about a 2.5-inch blade, or a 3-inch. But anyway, the reason I have these is, and where this discussion is going to go today, is do you guys, when we're out and about and we have tasks that come up, sometimes, you know, people need something opened, a box or something, and they ask you for a knife. Two things. First of all, if they don't have a knife on them, odds are they're not knife people. And so I guess my first question is, what knife do you hand them to use? I try and keep all my knives extremely sharp. But if they're opening a box, this is usually a food prep knife. It's what I usually carry it for. Same with this. I will use this one for utility purposes, but if I need a small knife for utility purposes, generally I have the Gerber, which is about the same size as the Kershaw. So what knife do you give them? I mean, I don't want to hand someone who's not a knife person something like this. 4-inch blade. They might see that as a weapon. They might see it as dangerous. They might hurt themselves unintentionally. Because if they're not knife people, I mean, a couple issues I've run into. The first of which I'm going to address, is size. I have no problem using this to open a box. None at all. I'll open mail with it. I'll open packages. Or even this. It's a tool. That's what I carry it for. Could I also use this to start a fire? Yes. Could I use this to start a fire? Absolutely. But as far as that goes, I could even use that. But normal, everyday use with people who are not familiar with knives or who do not carry them regularly, I don't feel comfortable giving them my larger blades because they may freak out. I live in the state of Nebraska, and in the state of Nebraska, the law vaguely defines a knife as anything over 3.5 inches, which can be used for the purpose of stabbing, cutting, piercing, or slashing. Okay, so does that mean that these are weapons, but these aren't? Because I can tell you right now, this and this are a lot sharper, a lot keener of an edge than these two are. I know I've cut myself badly with this. I've actually stabbed myself recently with this, and a good portion of the blade, about that much, just because it's so fine, but that much of the blade went into my finger before I even noticed it. So does that mean that's not a weapon because it's only a 3-inch knife? And I think that's ridiculous that they classify things as that, but, you know, the law is the law. I know of an instance where a family member helped out someone who had been cut. They had their neck cut with a box knife. That's only, you know, it's only a knife about that long. That's not a weapon technically. It's, you know, a little razor box knife, but they had their neck cut. And the person was, the family member was trained in medical procedures and actually saved the person's life because they stopped the bleeding. So does that mean that that's not a weapon, but that this is? Because I would never use my knives as a weapon unless it was a last-ditch thing. I've gone over that before. But these are tools. I mean, I would have no problem going camping, and if I needed to dig a fire pit and I didn't have anything at hand, I would have no problem just shoving this into the dirt and using this as a shovel. I really wouldn't. Partially because I know it could take it, partially because this is what that knife is for. It's for being beat up, being used, and it'd be used here. I'll show you my other knife, my camp knife. And I've shown it a couple times, and it's thrash. I mean, it's ugly, and I don't care because I use it for stuff like that. The M-Tech with the cheap G10 handle that was the first one I ever did. But you know what? This thing fits in your hand. It's comfortable. But as you can see, that thing is just thrashed. And that's partially because I have no problem using it to hack a log in half, using it to dig with, using it for whatever I need it for. But I wouldn't give it to someone else to use. Even if I was camping and I had this on me, if I had both of these on me, I'd give them this. Because I don't want them to hurt themselves. I don't want them to freak out because I have this on me. If I'm camping and I go down to the local store to get something, this is on me. And I don't care. You know what? I'm camping. I'm not gonna, because the area that I go camping has a lot of like little shore shops on the beach, and I have no problem taking this in on me. They don't care. They understand that I'm out and about. But around town, I usually have this on me. So what do you guys think? Like, would you hand someone a knife like this to open a box? Would you hand them something like this? Because, I mean, that's not too scary. A little Gerber. And, you know, if I do hand it to them, I'm not going to flick it out. I'm just going to say, you know, here you go. And I may hand it to them partially open. Here you go. Or I may hand it to them like this, and they can open it themselves however they want. But, and if they don't know how to close it, I will take it from them. You know what? Just give it here. I'll close it. Because I've handed this knife to people, and they sit there and look at it. They look at the back. This is not a difficult knife to figure out. There's the lock. And actually, if you just press hard enough, it'll close itself. Which, I love Gerber for that reason. Not. See if I can do it again. Total lock failure. And not even pushing that hard. My hand is nowhere near the lock. And with my thumb, or with my finger, I pushed it shut. Now I'm pushing hard enough that if my finger were there, I'd probably take a good chunk off. But I'm getting off topic. Would you give these knives to people to use? I'll start putting them away. Would you hand someone a 4.5 inch blade for utility purposes? Even if it's a heavy duty. I had someone a while back ask me for a knife to cut carpet. I gave him that. I gave him the Gerber. Because I don't want him using this. This would be ideal for cutting carpet. You got that blade there. You can put it down. You know, it'll dig in. It'll work good. But they weren't a knife person, so I gave them this. And it worked perfectly. It worked fine. They were able to use it. Or I give them this. You know, hey, there's a knife on it. Here you go. And then they, oh, hey, cool. Which this I need to sharpen too. But what are your thoughts on that, guys? Would you give someone any knife that you carry? Or are you kind of selective, and do you purposely carry multiple knives in case you need to let someone use one? Because I absolutely do. I absolutely do. If I'm carrying this and I need to give someone a knife, I'll give them this. But that's it. I got a phone call. Just a discussion topic. I'll let you guys go.